a large gathering.
We're gonna go Kelly and Rod a few times through, and then we'll be done.
All right, go ahead, Kelly.
Oh, okay. Rodney said something I thought that was interesting after the game at Virginia. He talked about feeling more comfortable coming off the bench, and that settled his nerves for some reason. Is that something that you'll look at going forward? Because it seemed like he played a lot better coming off the bench for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what makes him feel a little better, I'll talk to him about that and see how he feels. But obviously, that would be to be determined on moving forward. Don't know what I'll do tomorrow night just yet, but I'll have a conversation with Rodney about that.
Rod.
You look at North Carolina State's offensive production, and it's pretty much guard driven, and that includes rebounding. They get a lot of rebounds from their guards. How do you think you match up there?
Well, I think that a couple things. One is I think the guards. First of all, NC State's a good team, and they've been hurt not having Manny Bates. That really hurt them earlier in the year, and you know, they've obviously had some injury issues. So, but you know, and I think Coach Keats does a great job, and they're fighting and they're competing. They're competing every game that they're playing. Yeah, you're good. Every game that they're playing, but they got great perimeter guys. And listen, earlier in the year, they beat Virginia Tech. I mean, they've had good wins, and they if you look at that box score, what they did against Virginia, it was pretty amazing. You know, looking at it, what they did, considering how good defensively Virginia is. So I think NC State's really good, and they got great guard play. They got guys that can fill it up, and we'll have to be really good tomorrow night if we want an opportunity to win the game. And I'm a big fan of Coach Keats. I think he does a great job. They got really good players. Like I said, Manny Bates could have been the best big in the league, both defensively, especially defensively, and possibly, offensively. So, and credit to Coach Keats and his staff for being able to keep the program, keep the team competing like they're competing, knowing that, they've been hit pretty hard by the injury bug, as has everybody else. But, they lost a humongous piece early in the year.
Kelly.
In terms, just, looking at this next stretch of games, right? Like you have, 3 games basically in a week span coming up, and you need to create momentum. So does it change what you do in terms of preparation, practice? How do you approach, especially the Saturday to Sunday? Saturday and Monday.
We just got to try to win these games starting tomorrow the best that we can. It's not as much on changing preparation. When you're at this point of the year, you're, February 14th. So there's, you're not going to just go 3-4 hours in practice. So you want to be short, to the point, and making sure that we're ready to go and competing and we're getting better in the areas that we need to get better at. And then from there, just clean up what we got to clean up and be ready to go play, get on the court and play and try to get some wins.
State is coming in riding the 6-game losing streak, and I imagine you want to, don't want to let them get off the floor and get off to a good start and take control of the game early.
Well, Rod, we're on a 2-game losing streak. They're on a 6, so I hope we end our losing streak and they continue theirs. That's what would be the best option for us. But in order to do that, we're going to play really well. It's not going to be any easy game. I think they're better than their record. I think they got a lot of good players. I think they can score the ball, and we'll have to play put a 40-minute game together. That's something that we've got to do, that we can control, is trying to be able to put 40 minutes together, not 32, 34. We got to put a 40-minute game together.
Kelly.
In terms of Saba and Tristan, we're not in Virginia. Kind of what's the update on them? I know Saba's been dealing with some stuff too.
No, Saba and Tristan just had some personal issues, nothing negative or anything of personal issues, just some family stuff, and all positive for both young men, nothing negative whatsoever. And both was just dealing with some family stuff in a good way, not in a negative way. Saba will be back with us, and Tristan will need a few more days, but nothing negative in that sense.
Rod.
There's been naturally a lot of talk lately about the discrepancy in foul calls, and you've addressed it in the right way. But when you go back and look at film, and I think Moose had some interesting stats where 75% of the games that the opponents have gone to the foul line more. Is there anything that you can pick out that's leading to that?
Well, look, we just, sometimes calls go your way, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the ball bounces away, sometimes it doesn't. It's just one of those things. One of the things is, there are some times where we're fouling that we do got to stop. We got to get our hands out of there. Now, we are very active in how we play, but we also drive the ball a lot downhill too. Now we drive the ball a lot, and I'm just saying in general. I just know that the rule for the ACC, for the Big Ten, for the Big 12, for the ACC, the NC2A, it is two. Anytime this is for Georgia Tech defensively, offensively, for any team, any two hands is an automatic. And I'm just saying that's in a general rule. So we've got to continue to do a good job of trying to defend without fouling, even though I know we're really active. And then we got to continue to try to put pressure on the rim, driving downhill, and hopefully we get to the free throw line more than we have.
It just seems like to the average Joe, as many times as you guys do go to the rim, there hasn't been many calls there.
It's better you to say that than I say it, Rod. You can afford any fine coming out of your pocket than I can. I can't afford it.
Hey, Mike Thomas or Roger, since you're on the call, let me give you a chance to ask a question if you got one.
Nope, I think we're good, Moose. Thank you, buddy.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Kelly's got another one. Kelly's got another one.
Oh, does he? Okay, go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, I was just curious about something schematically with the offense. You had a lot of success with Todrick early on here, posting up as a guard. And was that something that you've looked at with these guys? Is just not someone with that skill set that is as good around the rim? Because it seems like that would maybe give you another damage. You just don't really have a lot of interior scoring that's not drive based.
No, it's a fair point and a good point. We use it a lot with Todrick. It's in our arsenal. We probably haven't used it as much. Now, again, with Todrick, Ben Lammers was such a great passer from there, so that made it a little bit easier for the passing ability. When when Usher's there, it's easier. When one of the bigs is maybe not as simple, just for making sure, because we don't want to turn the ball over. So part of it is also who the guy is at the elbow as well.
Okay, Rod, one last from you if you got it.
I'm good, Moose. Thank you.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Okay, thanks everybody.